had to get.
It is now 7 o'clock. We will begin the regular meeting for the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for June 4th, 2013. Again, I would like to remind everyone this is being televised live. We do have a quorum tonight. Our prayer will be by Alderman Waldron, and our pledge will be by Alderman Green.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we come to you with bowed heads and humble hearts. Thank you, O great God, for giving us your Son Jesus. We ask you to be with the people of Oklahoma. Our prayers go out to them for their loss. We pray to keep our brave men and women safe that are serving us here and around the world. Keep Miss Sherry and Miss Mary in our prayers for their loss. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thanks, flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I hope everyone had the time to please read over the minutes for May 7th, 2013. Do I have a motion to approve or to deny these minutes?
Motion. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We will now begin with the department reports. Fire department. You decided to come back.
It was hard to come back. I almost had to be drugged to come back. I tell you what, that beach is nice.
We hear you.
For the month of May 2013, there was a total of 77 calls. Calls consisted of 3 structure fires, 13 fire alarms, 2 vehicle fires, 4 grass fires, 9 hazardous material calls, 21 motor vehicle accidents, 15 medical calls, 3 emergency miscellaneous calls, and 7 non-emergency miscellaneous calls. The average response time for the month of May was 2.8 minutes. Total water consumption for the month of May was 4,500 gallons. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you and
Thank
welcome
you very
home.
much. Thank you.
Police department.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman, good to see you all tonight. You have the report. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to go through that. One of the highlights, I think, are the DUI arrests when you look at the year-to-date totals on arrest, and you'll see the increase that's there. And that comes from our alcohol saturation program that's funded with the Governor Highway Safety Office grant. We also completed our first 2 sobriety checkpoints on Saturday night of Memorial Day weekend. The second one, the latest one, was a little bit better than the first one, but the visibility in and of itself has proven to be, from many studies in the past, a general deterrent, which is the reason we do sobriety checkpoints anyway. We have to announce it because of U.S. Supreme Court opinion. We have to publicize it. We have to be very visible. We have to allow people to avoid it if they do so legally. Because of that opinion by the U.S. Supreme Court. So that's the reason we do things the way we do. But we have the new equipment, utilized it, and it went very well. And I assure you, you can expect more. Plus, it's summertime, it's getting hot, so you can expect a little heat coming in the next couple of weeks. And I won't say any more about that yet. But I think everybody will realize it and see it and know what's going on. But we'll be active in some of our neighborhoods that have been a few problem areas, different days of the week, times of day, etc. So be prepared in case you get phone calls. Alderman Waldron, I've got 87 days. Thank you for what you said in your prayer. 87 days and my young'un will be home. So
And I've got a funny little story. I had a friend that happened to be at a meeting in Nashville, and I think it was the police chief, if I understood them correctly, and they were talking about speeders. There was, I think, some council people there, and people were asking the police chief questions, and they asked about Rutherford County, and he said, well, I don't know about Rutherford County, but I know Laverne has one of the best chiefs down there, and you don't want to mess with Laverne. So I was very pleased to hear that.
I'll have to pay Steve Anderson for that.
That made me very, very proud. So I thought you might enjoy hearing that.
Thank you.
And we thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you. Rescue unit. I don't see anybody him tonight. Okay. All right. I'd say that's where they're at. Thank you. Codes.
Mayor,
Oh,
Vice Mayor, Alderman. The monthly report for May is as follows. Single-family dwellings, there were 5 permits issued for a total of evaluation of $1,014,000. Commercial building permits, there were 2. Miscellaneous permits, there were 15. Sign permits were 28, and if you're gonna, I'm sure you're gonna look at that and wonder, so I'll go ahead and answer those questions. Now, Pro Lodges redid all their graphics and signage and addressing and what have you, markers in front of all their buildings out anywhere in Laverne. So that was the reason for that increased number. It was a nightmare trying to get them all out at one time. 1 grading permit, additions and remodels, there were 5 permits there. We did 1 commercial plan review. Total number of permits were 56. Plumbing permits, there were 9 single-family dwelling permits. There was 1 commercial. As far as mechanical, there were 5 single-family dwelling permits issued, 1 commercial. And I do not have anything on the complaints, tall grass. As of most of you know that Mike Jenkins retired, and I didn't get a number from him for this, so I apologize. But to say none the least, he has been busy, or at least I've been getting his calls, and I know he's been busy. So we'll have that number next month. It will be the accurate number for the month of June, as Dennis and I are splitting up those duties until we get someone in his position filled. As a result of that, I might ought to add too, the fire inspections were 16 this month, which the month of May, which this number may decline next month due to the fact that we're kind of short-staffed right now and trying to get a couple positions filled, but we will get back to that just as quickly as we get everything else wrapped up around us. Total number of single-family permits issued year-to-date were 17. Total number of single-family permits issued during the same time period last year were 16. Total number of permits issued year-to-date are 178. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions? Thank y'all. You're doing a very good job. Thank you. Parks and Recreation.
Ma'am?
A.C. Davis's first night is our official
As official,
Parks and
that's
Rec, director. So we'd like to welcome you as the new director.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. You see our numbers there. There are a couple, there's a extra line on there for tournament donation. We did have a $1,500 donation, which I think y'all are going to address at some point. We also have 2 more tournaments at the end of the month, back to back. So there'll probably be a couple more donations. We have the 4th of July coming up. Everything is going as planned there. We have our entertainment set up, and we're going to hold it on the football field like we did last year, since I think it was pretty successful there. So we're going to go back with that again. Summer camp starts Monday, so we're really looking forward to that. Julie's done a wonderful job getting all that set up, and we have our counselors in place. I'd like to thank Donna from the library for letting us use on Wednesday, when we have court down here, we'll have to get the kids out of there a little early, so we're going to use one of her conference rooms or possibly the story time room to house the kids for a little while, and I'm sure they'll have all kinds of activities planned up for them. We have my old position posted, maintenance supervisor, so we're hoping to fill that as soon as possible. And I would like to recognize Jolynn Hilliard and RBI for the job that they have done helping us get this season going. You know, the transition has not, I won't say it's been really smooth, but now that it's, you know, moving along, everything is clicking right along. So considering how much time we had to do it, it's been wonderful. So I'd like to recognize her and her organization for all her help, because I know she's, you know, it's been a headache. So anybody have any questions?
Any questions? Welcome and thank you.
Thank you.
Finance.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Aldermen. Tonight's report represents 10 months into our fiscal year, ending in April the 30th. In our general fund, revenues have exceeded expenditures at this point by $2.4 million. Sales tax, we've collected $3.4 million. That's approximately $614,000 better than what we anticipated at this time of the year. And it's about $486,000 better than at this time last year. State Street Aid expenses have exceeded revenues by approximately $96,000. In our stormwater fund, revenues exceeded expenditures by approximately $380,000. And in our water sewer fund, revenues exceeded expenditures approximately $1.3 million. On the second page represents our balances in our various bank accounts, and I want to make a special mention of, at the bottom of the page, you'll notice that our water and sewer construction fund, that is the new fund for our bond issue, so that you'll be seeing that as a separate item so that we can track the spending there. On the third page is a comparison to prior year. In the general fund, at this point, expenses have exceeded revenues by approximately $1 million. And in our water sewer fund, revenues have exceeded expenditures by approximately $573,000. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Library, Ms. Donna.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman, good evening. The month of May is known among the library staff as the calm before the storm. In preparation for the summer reading program, we did not have any May story times, and unfortunately our numbers kind of show that a little bit. We had 8,172 items checked out. We had an attendance of 8,145 people with a daily average of 339, and our total computer users were 2,859. On May 18th, we had our annual spring book sale, and the library received $706.55 in donations. The summer reading programs began this past Saturday with an exciting kickoff that included prizes for all who came in to sign up, popcorn and punch, and a balloon creation by Mr. Frank. We had approximately 200 people come into the library on Saturday. Our summer schedule can be found on the city website or on the library's Facebook page, or you can stop by the library and pick up a copy of the schedule. And all of our programs are free, and we have activities for all ages. As of today, when I left the library with our third day of summer reading, our sign-ups included 68 adults, 29 teens, 212 youth readers, 119 youth listeners, for a total, day 3, of 428 participants. So we're very excited about that. And the library extends an invitation to all of our community to come and join us for the summer, and then after the summer to continue to use and enjoy all the great resources and services that we have. Do you have any questions?
Good job, Ms.
All
Donna.
right, thank you.
Water treatment plant.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. What we have is our monthly summary for the month of April comparatively to 2012 this year. Our volume of water processed remains about the same, so our usage is staying fairly steady. All of our chemical usage is pretty much the same. We're one of the highlights is we're back on generating our own bleach or chlorine there, so we're off of the bought bleach from the construction work. Our flushing program, we did actually 10 sites this the month of April and a little under 100,000 gallons. This was mainly to do the system testing of the chlorine byproducts. So they're actually out there this month and last month of May doing the system flushing, because we're starting to get a couple of complaints about the water being kind of stale, smelly, and just a general time of the year warming up. The water is starting to change. Our maintenance for the month of April was $18,346. That's a little high. With the construction work, we're getting some other things done to the plant that just really needed some cosmetic work and a lot of cleaning. Some of the chemical usage for the cleaning was rather expensive. And our membrane unit had an outstanding month. We did almost 9 million gallons, so that put a savings of going to Metro at over $16,000 there. We sent 2 of our folks for some TDEC testing, one in the water treatment that is a grade 4 level, and we're starting to cross-train some of them. Jeff Johnson went for his distribution time. And during April, I was invited to speak at the Rotary Club in Vergne. It was very interesting. They had a lot of questions about the water and mainly about backflow devices. A lot of, I guess, the business owners were there, and we were able to satisfy all their curiosities. Still half the plant is down with construction. They're patching the walls, the cracks in the walls that were there, so it's all moving around. This is the halfway point, but I think we'll probably go a little over 6 months' time. But that's about all I have. Oh, and our gracious folks from the state of Tennessee did our sanitary survey inspection this week, or last week, sorry. They spent a day at the plant, 2 days in distribution, so we'll find out the results of that upcoming month or so. Hopefully did good on it.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to keep that state happy.
Yes.
Any questions? Thank you, Thomas. Public Works.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Alderman. This is for the month of May. We had 36 chipper calls with 561 pickups with a total of about 50 tons, 543 hours of inmate workhouse programs, with a total of 721 man hours of total mowing, with 261 work orders, 35 hours overtime, with 30 of that being on call. The rest was being called in. Had any special projects I was doing, just cutting grass and mowing. You know, we do Waldron Road, you know, so we got that cleaned up. And then also in fleet, we had a total of 51 repairs, 10 major and 6 minor. Had 19 oil changes and some minor equipment repair. And like I said, a lot of the vehicle repairs are some of the older police cars that we're taking out of service slowly but surely, going and working with the chief on that. So I think we're supposed to be getting some new ones in this week or something. But other than that, we've had a pretty good month.
Sounds good. Any questions?
Thank you.
Utilities. We'd like to welcome Mr. Michael Deeds, who stepped into the utilities for us and is doing a really good job. We appreciate you, Michael.
Yeah, thank you. Mayor, Alderman, reporting for utilities, May 2013. In sewer, we generated 127 work orders, 38 and a half hours overtime. The special project is recovering and bringing up manholes to grade for during a Hydromax inspection. They've been buried for years, and we're finding them and getting them up to grade. The water department, we had 87 work orders, 3 of those being new meter sets and 14 due to line leaks and main breaks, with 20 and a half hours overtime. And that's about all I got. We got 2 new employees, so we're excited about that over there. Started last week.
Very good. I know y'all have your hands full,
Yes, ma'am.
and we appreciate you. Any questions?
Thank you.
Human Resources. Ms. Vaughn's hid out in the audience.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Aldermen. Reporting for Human Resources for the month of May. We had about 9 jobs posted, about 80 applicants for those jobs. I am pleased to announce we have 6 hires for the month of May, so I'm glad about that. And then we had 2 internal employees that were promoted, so AC and Kathy. So congratulations, y'all. In May, we had 4 resignations, 1 termination. Not a whole lot in claims management and risk management changed, but we did have 1 new litigation. Care Here, we had 62 appointments for May, 1 no-show. Our enrollments for Care Here were about 250. We did have 2 HRAs conducted. Dependent lives didn't have a whole lot of change there. Dependent claims, about 377 for May. Employee claims, 197. Family claim dollars, single claim, had a little bit of change there, and just the total claim dollars is $193,412. Any questions?
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. And I see the rescue squad quit playing on the interstate. Anthony, would you like to come up and give the rescue report? Yeah, we hear y'all been a little busy.
A little bit, actually. The baby's doing pretty well. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. Vergne Rescue responded in the month of May to 21 vehicle accidents, 2 which were in the county, 1 fire-related call, which was, I believe, down at Parthenon. I believe that's what that was. 1 traffic, 62 other calls, 2 business meetings, 7 PR meetings, 6 others. I got a total miles of 2162 and man hours of 1195. And I'm so glad I got over here to do this. But yes. Any questions? And we're proud to report the baby's sleeping through the night. 9 at night to 6 in the morning. We're so proud.
Boy, you're lucky. Thank you. All right. I think that I forget anybody. All right. We'll get to Employee of the Month. A little background on the Employee of the Month. When you come in, you might not see her. You might not always, even the employees might not see her. Because she's got buried back in the back, and she's working in the tax department. And her director relies on her heavily. And I don't think any of us truly realize what all goes on in that department. You think that, they just get to sit back there, they just collect taxes, and that's it. Well, that's not true. And since I've been around, Miss Evie's taught me a lot about what goes on back there. And she relies heavily on this lady. And I'll have to say, we had some time when Miss Evie really had to depend on her. And she stepped up to the plate. Now, I don't know if a lot of you don't know Miss Evie, but you don't mess with her department, okay? She wants it done, and it better be done right. So it speaks volumes when she couldn't be there that she can rely on Miss Becky to be there and to help and to understand what goes on in that department, because I didn't even realize a lot of the things that they have to keep up with. So, Miss Becky, we're very honored if you would come up here, please. The City of Laverne Certificate of Appreciation is hereby granted to Becky Steed. For your dedication and hard work for the City of Laverne, the City hereby recognizes you as the Employee of the Month for June 2013 and thanks you for your excellent work you do for the City of Laverne. And we thank you very much for taking care of Miss Evie. Thank you. Those ladies work very hard, and we hope you know how much we appreciate y'all in your department. All right, we'll move right into old business. Number 4, second reading, ordinance 2013-03, an ordinance of the City of Laverne, Tennessee, adopting the annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2013 through June 30th, 2014.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have anyone that wishes to have any discussion at this time? Any discussion? If not, we will do a roll call. Alderman Broker?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron? No. Vice Mayor?
Aye.
Alderman Green?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. Second reading, ordinance 2013-04, an ordinance to amend the 2012-2013 fiscal year Streets Capital Fund Projects Fund.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any discussion? If not, we will do a roll call. Alderman Green.
Aye.
Vice Mayor.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. Number 6, second reading, ordinance 2013-05, an ordinance to amend the 2012-2013 fiscal year general fund budget.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any discussion? If not, we will do a roll call. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron. Vice Mayor.
Aye.
Alderman Green.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Number 7, the consent agenda items. We discussed all of these in great detail at the workshop. Do I have a motion to approve or to deny the consent agenda items?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any discussion? I see none. We'll do a roll call. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron. Vice Mayor.
Aye.
Alderman Green.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. New business. Motion to approve or remove board members. First on the agenda is the library board. We do have 2 applicants, Glenn Green and Kimberly McDonald. Alderman Green, did y'all discuss anything at your meeting? Do y'all have anyone that y'all would like to add since you're on that board?
I would be happy to have these.
We have just one opening though?
Just one opening?
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest Glenn Green.
Glenn Green, okay.
Second.
I have a Glenn Green and I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. All righty, the local emergency planning committee. We will be filling the Parks and Recreation with A.C. Davis. With the Laverne Police Department, we will be filling that position with Sergeant Burl Davis.
Motion to approve.
I have the motion to approve these 2. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have our Laverne Housing Authority. We have one applicant, Miss Virginia McMath. And I've looked over her resume, so I would like to, it says the mayor appoints, but I still have to have a vote. Am I correct?
I don't believe so,
I
but
don't
it wouldn't
think
hurt.
It's not going to hurt. I would like to add Miss Virginia McMath to the Laverne Housing Authority.
We voting on it?
Yes, I
Second.
have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next, we have in the new business. First reading, ordinance 2013-06, an ordinance to amend Title 20, Chapter 2 of the Vergne Municipal Code regarding user fees for the Parks and Recreation Department.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. I will open this up for discussion. Anyone have any discussion? This is first reading. All right, I see no discussion. We'll do a roll call since this is a first reading. Alderman Green.
Aye.
Vice Mayor.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron. Alderman Broker.
Aye.
And I vote aye. First reading, ordinance 2013-07, an ordinance to amend the City of Laverne zoning ordinance by changing the official zoning map for tax map 140, Group A, parcel 16, located at 1500 New View Street, consisting of .35 acres from an R3 high-density residential zoning district to an I-1 light industrial zoning district. Received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission on May 28, 2013.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any discussion on this matter? I see none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right. Number 11. Resolution 2013-11, a resolution of the City of Laverne to appropriate funds to nonprofit organizations. I would like to make the motion. Do I need to make the motion and then amend, or just do it with the amendment in the motion?
You'll need a motion to amend the resolution, get a second, get that approved,
Okay.
and then another motion to approve it as amended.
Okay, I'd like a motion, make a motion to amend this resolution.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Specify the changes.
We will be making some changes in all three of the Chamber of Commerce issues. Chamber of Commerce Economic Development from $23,000 to $11,500. Chamber of Commerce Convention and Tourism from $15,000 to $7,500. Chamber of Commerce Destination Rutherford from $40,000 to $20,000. That was my motion.
Second.
I have a second. I will open this up for discussion.
Did you get more information? You said you were going to get.
Basically, it was exactly what was in that email.
Really?
And that, yes, that is not their job to help us go out and retrieve retail. And I did explain to them, you know, that we've got to have retail. Mm-hmm. And so we definitely need the chamber to help us with the industrial end. Mm-hmm. And the jobs, they say that that's their job to bring jobs. And that we would be cutting their funding in half and taking the other funding, and we were going to bring that to the board to hire the retail strategies to help us with our retail end of it.
So they were.
And they were very, very gracious and very nice to us about that. Yes. And Bruce and Kathy were in with the meeting as well. Okay, I have a motion and a second to amend Resolution 2013-11 with those amendments. Let's do a roll call on that. Alderman Broker?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron? Pass. You don't want to vote, or? Okay.
Abstain.
You abstain. You abstain. Vice Mayor?
Aye.
Alderman
Aye.
Green? And I vote aye. So with those amendments now, we need a motion to approve as amended and a second.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve and a second. We will do a roll call. Alderman Green?
Aye.
Vice Mayor?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron?
Aye.
Alderman Roper? And I vote aye. Motion carries. with those amendments. All righty. Number 12. Motion to approve an application for certificate of compliance for an off-premises consumption retail liquor store from City Slickers LLC to be located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. I will open this up for discussion. Anyone have any questions or comments? All right, we'll do a roll call. Alderman Broker?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron? Aye. Vice Mayor?
Aye.
Alderman
Aye.
Green?
It's bad to say too.
I know, Alderman Green and I, it has nothing to do with the people, it's just we felt certain ones had to follow rules and that was changed. So with that being said, I'm going to abstain from that vote. All right. Number 13, the motion does carry for the liquor store to open. Number 13, motion to approve contract with New World Systems for the CAD RMS system for the police department. Okay.
Motion to approve.
Actually, we need to defer this because we're still working on the financing portion of this. And we'd like to
gotcha. I
approve
didn't
all of
figure
this at the same time. So that would be our recommendation.
Motion to defer it then.
Motion
Second.
to defer. Have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we definitely, Chief, don't want to defer it, but we'll get it done. Number 14, excuse me, Resolution 2013-12, a resolution to remove the City of Laverne from the application of mandatory allowance of the manufacture of alcoholic beverages. Are we sure we want to do this one right now until we do some more investigation and working into our own zoning ordinances?
The problem with this is we have to do this within 45 days of the passage of the bill, which would be at this meeting. And of course, we currently do not have any regulations for anybody that would or could come in to manufacture alcohol. So that's why they gave everybody that option to opt out at this time. But we only have a certain number of days to actually withdraw from these requirements. We can always opt back in at a later time, you know, once we get our regulations
Okay,
where
so
they need to be.
So we need to opt out?
You know, it's up to the board, you know, but the main issue is if somebody wanted to move into Laverne right now, we have no regulations on the books
Right.
for the manufacture of either liquor or beer.
Do we have to have a motion before I can ask Evan a question, or can I go ahead and ask now? Or?
You're welcome to ask now.
Okay. Just what kind of protections does this give the city? I mean, I understand we could always opt back in eventually, but what would be the reason to opt in at this point?
It's in terms of protection, what it would do is prevent a company from coming in and noticing that maybe Laverne doesn't have any rules or regulations regarding this manufacturing, and then maybe take advantage of the fact that we don't and set it up in an area of town where we wouldn't necessarily want to see it. If we opt out of it, then that gives the city some time, this board some time to think through how you want the city to look, and if you want to attract this kind of business, then you can do it in a thoughtful, planned way, as opposed to just some company coming in saying, we're going to take advantage of you because you don't have any rules.
Okay.
That would be my concern.
Okay, that's what we just want to make sure everybody's aware of what that entails.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion to approve.
Second.
And I have a second. We'll do a roll call. Alderman Broker?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron? Vice Mayor?
Aye.
Alderman Green?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. Number 15, motion to approve an agreement with Retail Strategies to provide professional consulting and related services. Again, this will begin, if this board chooses to opt into this, it will begin in this next fiscal year, and we just told you where the money was coming from.
Motion to approve.
And we need to make sure,
Yeah, Bruce is going to lead off on the comment, and then I'll be happy to answer any questions.
okay.
We've kind of been going back and forth with Retail Strategies about the contract. On page 4 of their agreement, there is a highlighted section there under the termination clause. We really just want to make sure that that is fair for both sides as far as when it comes to payment. Right now, the way it's written is if we enter into a following year, we basically have to pay them, like year 2, it'd be $20,000 for the year. You know, if we decided to opt out, say July 31st, we wouldn't get any of that money back. You know, so that is obviously a risk on the city. I think they're willing to work with us on that.
Okay.
And change that to where we could get some of those funds back on things that they have not spent. So that's what we're still working on.
And the only holdup, they weren't able to get their lawyer on the phone this
Okay.
afternoon and make the change.
Okay.
So if it's acceptable to y'all, you can approve it subject to my approval, and we'll make sure that language reads the right way.
Okay.
Motion to approve contingent upon attorney approval.
Okay.
Second.
Have a second. We'll do a roll call. Alderman Green.
Aye.
Vice Mayor.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron. Alderman Roker.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. All right, guys, we're down to Mayor and Alderman comments. Alderman Green, we'll start with you.
I don't have anything, I don't think. Can't think of it.
Okay. Vice Mayor.
Nothing.
All right. Alderman Waldron. Alderman Roker.
No, ma'am.
Well, I would like to thank everybody for their hard work during this budget season. Y'all worked very, very hard on your budgets. Everybody took it very, very seriously. And you looked at your budgets very, very hard. And I want to say to each of you as directors, and y'all worked hard on it, and I'm very, very proud of you. I'm also proud of the group that went to the retail conference. A lot of people do not realize the work that goes into that. It is very hard work. You have blisters. We even had people bleeding feet this time. And yes, it is hard work. And no, you don't go out there and play around. You have very little time. You're spending all that time, and it relies on us getting that information out. We did have a booth this year. It was very productive. We had a lot of developers actually come into our booth, sitting down, gathering information, and we've been following up. We're actually, this time, we're getting phone calls back to us. We sent out our thank you letters immediately when we got back, and we are getting responses. So this has been a first. We've worked very hard for the last 2 years, and anybody that has any questions on what goes on at these meetings, you're welcome to come and sit down with us. We'll be happy to give you our itinerary. We'll be happy to give you a list of names of the people that we talk to. Some of the information with clients that they have asked us, they were interested, but they've asked us to please refrain from using their name until they can come forward. And I just want to thank that team for going out there. You worked very, very hard, and I appreciate your hard work and dedication to this city, because it's not an easy task. Alderman Green, you've been out there. You know what we all go through, and I just want to thank y'all for your hard work. I thank each and every one of you for the work you do each and every day. With that being said, I'll make this meeting adjourned.